What's up, baby? It's the Lowlife podcast. It's your boy Rhino back with another sexy episode of the Lowlife podcast. This is going to be a fun one for me. We're going to be joined with Dustin Beck of Beck Built Fab. He's been a longtime listener and an early supporter of Rhino Resto. We traded some vapor honing work for some of his machining work years ago. But yeah, I'm excited about getting into this one. Good guy. He's out west, up in the, I want to say Washington area. We'll clarify all these things once we get into the interview. I mean, that's what interviews are for, is getting to know people. So we've talked a lot online, never over the phone or anything. So it'll be good to finally get face-to-face time with old Dustin Asleep. I mean, that's an OG name. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, that's an OG motherfucking name. Dustin Asleep. He's been listening for a long time. So really excited about that. But first, we got a little light housekeeping. Shout out. La Spada boys. The La Spada Chopper Show, number 4. We went to that on Saturday, this past Saturday. And if you missed it, man, I feel bad for you. It was fucking fun. Those guys always put on an awesome show. Killer fucking bikes. The company, though, the people that showed up was the best part. Shout out Big Truth. I think we're BFFs now. He is the fucking man, dude. He is funny and cool, and he shared some out of this world apple moonshine. Yeah, we hung out. Dan, of course, was there. We hung out all fucking day, which at this, at my age, hanging out with the homies around fucking motorcycles all day, that's like the perfect day, like obviously, family time and stuff. But if you're not with your family, like, and you imagine your perfect day, it's like being around the coolest people talking about motorcycles and looking at fucking motorcycles. I mean, it was so much fucking fun. Turned out to be a fucking nice day too. They were projecting some rain, which it did, but not until way later in the day. I actually got a fucking sunburn because I'm pasty white and I'm bald, so I always get this stupid half moon sunburn because I wear backwards hats like I'm fucking 14. But yeah, dude, it was fucking hot and sunny. And yeah, man, just drinking beers, chugging Modelo's all day. They had a fucking good bar going. All the homies came out. Fucking shout out to Alex. He had his fucking shovel in the show. That thing is sick. Dan debuted Boot Boy. And we did a little photo shoot with Chicken Rick where I acted damn fool. Dude, killer bikes, Oxford Co. Choppers. Oh my God, his bike is so nice. Shout out to Chase, One People's Champ. Dude, there was just like some real heavy hitters, real beautiful bikes. There was like some resto bikes, some sick ass like resto pans. Just such a good day all around. Linked up with Steve, Deadbeat Customs was there. I know I'm missing it, but it was all the fucking homies, all the big players in the Northeast. We were all there. It was the first time at this new venue, but I think it worked out. It was really cool. They have a big field out back. They had vendors and bikes set up out in this field. They were grilling, dog, fucking glizzies and burgers, like fucking cheap, dude. Like I said, there was beer flowing, there was food grilling, and there was bikes and good company. It was just fucking awesome, dude. And I can't wait to do it again at the Reviver show. When we do that, we're not going to have a grill going probably, but we are going to have some food trucks, and we're hopefully going to have some bikes there. If you reached out and you haven't heard back from me, I don't know, maybe you got lost in the sauce, but I'm not very good at keeping track of these things, right? I'm juggling a lot of balls, dude, and some of them fly down and hit me in the face, right? So I think we actually had a couple people back out. Actually, at the La Spada show, I saw a couple people, and for whatever reasons, they had to back out of our show. Hit some life hits hard sometimes, right? So if you have a bike and you miss the deadline, we do have a couple of spots open. DM us or shoot me an email at rhino@thelowlifepodcast.com. But the Reviver show is as far as I know, still on. May 24th. That is Memorial Day weekend, which means you're going to have to. I know, your Aunt Linda sent you Memorial Day barbecue fucking RSVP. You're gonna have to RSVP. Sorry, Aunt Linda. But I have something better to do. I'm gonna be hanging out in the sunshine with cool chopper dudes, looking at fucking bikes and drinking beer and eating tacos and shit. So, maybe I'll see you at Christmas. So May 24th, get in. It's going to be at noon. We have people coming from out of state, bro. You heard Jean-Luc, he's coming out. People are traveling far to come up to the Reviver show. And it's, dude, like the Lowlife community, the dudes that travel out of state to like come hang. I mean, if you like this show, if you like me and Dan, then you love these guys because they're just like us. And we talk shit and we fucking party and we fucking smack each other on the ass and it's a good time. So come down to the Reviver show. After the Reviver show, you got to go to Party at the Penn East. Bro, I can't tell you how many people are going to this. Like, dudes from all over are coming out of the woodwork. Everybody's going to the Party at the Penn East. We're going to be there. We're going for the whole weekend. I'm going to be, hopefully my fucking bike is done by then. Hopefully Dan's bike is like 100% done. He still had some kicker woes and he had to drop a lot of coin on a good kicker because he actually rides his bike, unlike some people who build bikes for shows. So, yeah, we're going to be at the Shawshank prison. I'm going to be dressed up like Morgan Freeman. Dan's going to be dressed up like Tim Robinson. And we're not going to talk normal the entire weekend. We're just going to do quotes from the Shawshank Redemption. So it's going to be pretty annoying to hang out with us. The other thing I wanted to mention, the other show at the end, the unofficial Lowlife podcast show is the Deadbeat Retreat. That is going to be August 22nd at the Blackthorn Resort. Get out to this one. I talked to Steve, and he's greenlit the Lowlife podcast poolside belly flop contest. Now, if you guys were there last year, you remember me and Loctite, we usually cover the bike games, but we scurried down to the pool and we almost got some dude ejected from the Blackthorn because he kept on jumping off the fucking roof. That was like the one rule. They're like, all right, you can do a belly flop contest. Anything goes. You can have your cock hanging out if you want, probably, but you can't jump off the fucking roof. But this year, I'm going to be setting up by the pool, and I'm hoping that we do a live stream. So we're going to do a live stream. Maybe we can get some interviews in if anybody wants to come by and talk. And I'm going to be getting shit-faced. They have really good, margaritas, cheap and huge. And, of course, your boy likes to drink. So I'm going to be set up right next to the motherfucking bar, poolside. I'm going to have my titties out, dude. I'm going to be flying these tits, dude. All right. So you don't want to miss that. We're going to be doing a belly flop contest. I'm going to have a loudspeaker. I'm going to be obnoxious and drunk. Probably not. I'm actually a pretty chill drunk, but I will have a loudspeaker and we will be doing a belly flop contest. I want to make it I want to have a prize too. So I'm going to think of something, maybe a cash prize, make it a big deal. I want to see some belly flops. All right. If you want to become a Patreon sponsor, hit me up. So Patreon giveaway, we try to do one a month. And if you're like a dude that is trying to get your name out there and you build parts or you fucking make leather goods or whatever the fuck you do, if you want to be a sponsor, reach out and just send me a DMM. A DMM. What's the extra M for there, right guy? Last but not least, I just want to shout out Chris Potter. He's up in Canada. He just signed up for Patreon. He gives me and Dan shit on a daily basis. I think he signed up for Patreon just to be able to give us shit on a different platform. But we appreciate you, Chris, and we appreciate your antics. And I heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard that Canada's cracking down on old automobiles. I heard that the cutoff's 2,000 or some fucking crazy shit. So I don't know what that means for old classic cars and choppers and shit up in Canada. But Chris, let us know. Is it just fake news or Is Canada really that fucking silly? Um, one other thing I need to address before we get into this interview, and I thought this was just self-evident, but apparently there's still some people out there that get a little feisty in the comments. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. Now, we are very, we have a really tight knit community here at the Low Life podcast, and everybody that likes our show and engages with us online is fucking awesome. And we don't have a lot of hate. However, there was an incident where someone was talking shit. A few people were talking shit to my boy Danny on an unrelated post, not in our shit. But it was about us and something that we were talking about. I just want to be really clear on this. All right. If you are a grown man and you talk shit to people on like Facebook or IG, you are a bitch. You are just a bitch. And you feel free, guys, if you want to do a little fact checking, go back through any of my social media profiles and see if I ever have any disparaging comments about anybody else online. Right? If I comment, I mean, these things are just toys, right? It's supposed to be fun. Show off your bike, make a couple dick and ball jokes, pump up your buddies, get some free advertisement for your business. If you go online and you disagree with someone and you get all feisty in the comments, you're a bitch. Plain and simple. And I don't feed the trolls, dude. All you get is a fuck you. And if you try to reason with me, I'm going to say fuck you again. And if you go after my boy, I'm going to say fuck you again. All right? Let's keep this shit fun. Nobody gives a fuck about your stupid opinion, especially if you're from fucking Latvia. So, fuck you. And remember, if you have any posts out there where you're like critical of someone and you're just like just being a dick and say, "Oh, a sports that doesn't cost 20 grand, it costs 16." You're a bitch, dude. Plain and simple. I'm sorry. If you didn't know already, I'm here to tell you. I want you to get better. I want you to become a man. All right? If you're like 30 years old and you're nitpicking people's comments and shit, like other creators, like people that are putting themselves out there in front of thousands of people and have the courage to do that and are creating something new, and all you do is complain, you're a bitch. And I laugh about you, and me and my friends laugh about you. And if you do that, all right, it's not too late. You can stop. You can stop being an absolute fucking bitch. You can just stop doing that. You can just be positive and be cool. Like say something funny or like say something encouraging instead. Try that out. Otherwise, you're just going to be a bitch until the day you die. And that would be really sad. So just a little PSA out there. If you're a salty ass bitch, you can just stop at any time. It's like you just stop. Go delete those comments and just stop being a bitch. All right. All right, guys. I'm done bitching myself. So let's get into this motherfucking interview with Dustin Beck. Beck built fab. All right, guys, here we go. We're here with my boy Dustin. Dustin,
Hello,
where are you from?
Washington State.
Washington State. Where in Washington State? Because I've been trying to figure this out in my brain for a couple weeks now.
Um, about 20 minutes south of Olympia, and that's about an hour and a half ish south of Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So on the coast, on the
Yep.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had some dude from Washington. Did he ever hit you up?
Um, I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe.
There's a dude out there in Washington. I don't know where he's. I think he said Western Washington. How
Okay.
Washington's huge though. It's one of those big states like
Yeah, it's pretty
out in the
big.
corner.
Yeah.
So, um, we're from a wee little village called New Hampshire. So like in New
Yeah.
England, big states don't process. I'm like,
Right.
you could drive all day across Washington. I'm sure.
Yeah. 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 We're about 4.5 hours south of the Canadian border, and then probably 4.5 to 5 hours, maybe 6 hours south or north of the or Oregon. No, no, it's an hour and a half to the Oregon border, south.
Okay.
So we're pretty much right in the middle between Portland, Oregon, and Seattle.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably the furthest person we've ever interviewed then, because we're on literally opposite sides of the country.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Cool.
Yeah, like when we were scheduling this, I was like, yeah, like 6 p.m. And you're like, all right, see you at 3. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Legit. Uh, so in the intro, I talked a little bit about Beck Built Fab, but let's just go way back because you're an OG, Lowlife.
Mm-hmm.
You've been
Yep.
around forever. When did you start listening to the show?
I want to say it was probably a couple months after the first episode was posted.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but within probably 3 months of that first episode, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, dude. So yeah, I was saying that you were an OG because I remember Dustin Asleep
Yep.
coming up like on the
Yeah.
show like way back in the day, and
Yeah.
you were an early supporter of Rhino Resto too when I launched
Yeah.
that shit,
Yeah.
and we traded a little work because you're
Yeah.
were you a machinist like for a day job?
No, never.
Oh no shit.
No. Yeah. Yep. Self-taught. Um, yeah. All of
How'd
this.
you get access to the equipment? Did you just like grab a lathe or like
Yeah. I picked up one of those crappy little Harbor Freight mini lathes, and I just learned everything on that.
shit?
Yeah. Yeah. A
How are
buddy of
those
mine.
things?
They're not bad. Once you do some upgrades to them, they come with like plastic gears, but if you get the metal gears and you just do some fine tuning, they're actually pretty solid.
No shit, dude. I've been like this close to picking one of those things up for
Yeah,
years because they're like
I
what,
would.
$800
Yeah,
brand new.
I found mine used for $200.
Oh, that's a
So
no-brainer.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw
My
those upgrade videos too. They have like upgrade videos on YouTube, and there's like just a few things, pretty
yeah,
low cost to like get
yeah,
it to get pretty dialed in.
yeah. And if the circuit board ever shits out, there's a guy on eBay who totally rebuilds them
Oh
for
no
like
shit,
it's like $50 or something like that for him to go through and rebuild your circuit board.
dude. Mini lathe that takes up like no room too in the shop.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it had its
Dude,
own little
that's
bench. It was a tiny little corner spot, and it was perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now what's like the biggest? I mean, you can't shave down fork legs in that thing, right?
No, no, no. It was just barely too small. Like I want to say it was maybe 6 inches too short to fit a fork leg in there.
Oh, it actually is that big. I didn't even think you
Yeah,
would get
yeah.
almost big
I
enough.
mean, at least for like the Yamaha fork legs, they're pretty
Yeah.
small. Yeah,
No shit, dude.
yeah.
So, how'd you get into bikes? Did you grow up
The
around bikes
podcast,
or
the podcast,
really?
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. I had friends growing up that had dirt bikes, and they would like race dirt bikes, and I always wanted one, but could never afford one. So I just ride theirs around, and then um, yeah, I was working a shit job that I didn't want to work at anymore, and I was really fucking bored, and like I really want to get a motorcycle, and I started looking into motorcycles. I landed on choppers, and then I started just consuming anything chopper that I could. And I went on Spotify and just typed in chopper, and that's where I found the podcast.
Bro.
And then from there, I heard Grease's story about him working a shit job, taking nighttime welding classes, and then getting into welding and fabrication. That's exactly what I did. And
Oh shit.
within like a year, I quit that job and then started doing welding fabrication full time.
No shit. What were you in like an office job or what kind of work were you in?
It was cannabis industry. I was delivery driver for a cannabis company.
Oh yeah, that job sounds like it
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. It was just getting stuck in traffic, spending
Oh
six
yeah,
to
yeah.
eight hours, 6 to 8 hours a day, just sitting in traffic.
Yeah. Is weed legal in Washington then?
hmm Yeah,
It has been for a
uh,
while.
yeah, for years now. Yeah,
Wow. Okay. We're
yeah.
still way behind the times here in New Hampshire, dude.
Really? Huh?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Not cool. As the live free or die state, that's like one thing I'm like, come on, buddy. You know,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
we'll get there someday. I'm
Yeah.
sure. That's actually I
Yeah.
didn't know. Yeah, transporting it. Do you transport it in just like an armored truck or like what do you drive
No,
around in?
no, it was just a Mercedes Sprinter van.
No shit.
Yeah, and all the transactions were cash. So I had massive amounts of cash on me all day long, driving through like Seattle and like through ghetto ass areas. Like it was,
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, there were a couple
That's
times that I had
nuts.
like 30 grand in cash on me in the fucking van, and I'm not allowed to carry weapons. Like you're not allowed to have any sort of weapon on you. So,
How many of those
yeah,
fucking weed sprinters got fucking knocked off, dude?
I want to say that there. I heard some crazy story in Spokane, Washington, where like someone got kidnapped or something. Like
Dude, are
one
they
of the
still
drivers,
doing it
like
that way?
I don't know. I have no idea. I've been
If
out
they
of
are,
it for like
guys, sprinter vans,
yeah. And some of
follow
them are
them.
stupid. Some of them are stupid too because they'll put their company logo huge on the side of the van. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, might as well just be a target.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this sprinter van, I'm not allowed to carry guns. It's filled with weed and cash.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
It's
that's like
insane,
world's most dangerous job right there, dude.
right? I always had a knife on me, no matter what. I had a pocket
Oh
knife
yeah.
at all times. I wasn't fucking
You
around with
weren't
that
allowed to
shit.
carry a gun. Was that like company policy or is that like
State,
state
the
law?
state
Okay.
policy. Yeah, yeah. You're not allowed to have guns in the grow facility, in the transport, or in the stores whatsoever.
Hmm.
So it's wild.
That's crazy. It's like
Yeah. At least when I was
as
in it, it might be
the
different now.
government of Washington, you don't know how drug dealing works. You know what
Right.
I mean?
No shit. Yeah.
Like the guys that want to steal that stuff definitely have guns.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Damn, dude,
Yeah.
that's fucking cool. So you went
Yeah.
from the world's most dangerous job, and then where did you move into next? You said
Um.
welding and fabrication.
Yeah. Yeah. Welding and fabrication. If I remember right, my first welding job was building cop car parts. I would build like bumpers, the big push bumpers for the front of cop cars, and the cages for the criminals in the back seat that would
Hmm.
separate the cops from the back seat. I'd build the cages and then like other random accessories for the cop cars.
Did you ever intentionally leave defects so the criminals could escape?
Mm, no, I wanted
Like,
to. I wanted to so bad, but
yeah,
I did
like,
have
oh
a
fuck,
couple of my
this cage
welds
just
break.
lifts right off these screws.
Right? Yeah, I did have a couple of my welds break, but they brought it back and fixed it.
Oh no shit. What
Yeah,
kind of welding were you doing there? Was it like MIG or stick
yeah.
or
It was all
okay,
MIG. Yeah, it was
MIG?
MIG, but there was no material prep at all. So it was all just welding through the mill scale, and so like it was just messy and gross. Yeah.
No
The way that
shit.
the way that they justified it was they introduced a little bit of oxygen into the welding gas so that it would cut through the mill scale better, but it didn't fucking work.
Oh, you're just getting powder coated anyways.
Yeah, yeah,
Fuck it, it's
yeah.
just for cops. They don't need
Right.
nice
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. No.
So that's cool, dude. So how old were you when you got into bikes or started listening to the show?
Oh shit. I want to say around 27 or 28, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
something like that.
I gotta say, man, I completely fucking understand. My introduction was the same thing. I got into bikes and I immediately was like, choppers are the shit, dude. And found the show because I was like, dude, I need to fucking find chopper shit because you don't know anybody. You're not part of the culture. You're just like, you don't know anything and you don't know where the resources are. So I did the same thing, dude. Just like anything motorcycle related on podcasts, I just tune in. Yeah, dude. I had a really similar uh, experience. Right, is like later I didn't have bikes all grown up, and then later in life I got into them and I had no fucking clue. You know, I knew I needed information because I was fucking totally clueless.
Right.
So you go to the internet, and
Yep.
you know, I was
Yep.
just like, dude, same Spotify or Apple iTunes or whatever, and I was just like motorcycles, choppers, whatever
Yep.
would come
Yep.
up, and that's how I found the show. But I used to listen to a lot of garbage too. Like there's a lot of bad podcasts about motorcycles.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
listened to it just because it was like it was about motorcycles.
Yeah. I found a lot of them, and I couldn't get more than like 15 minutes into them. I was like, nope, I don't think this is the one for me. Nope. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a real cool one that just stopped really abruptly. I think it was called like Motorbike Mondays.
Okay.
And they did like 8 episodes. And I think they were like California dudes. And they just
Hmm.
like they built like shitty choppers or whatever. And it was super informative. Like they talked about how to do the wiring, how to do the paint and stuff like that.
Cool.
and then it just stopped, and then didn't come back and say like, "Oh, we'll be back." Like,
Yeah.
sorry, we're moved on to something else. It just fucking stopped, and I was just like,
Right.
"Fuck." But then
Yeah,
I
that
found this
always
show,
sucks.
and it was fucking nuts, dude. 'Cause it was in New Hampshire too. That was
Right.
the weirdest part of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I there was a couple that I found. I've listened to Evo Jesus's the Sometimes Choppers. I like that one. That one's entertaining. And there was another one that I just recently found. It's like something kickstands and kickflips or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, but I
Yep.
haven't really
It's
found
like
very many.
skateboarding and motorcycles or something.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't found very many motorcycle ones that I actually can tolerate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the motorcycle ones that are out there are not chopper
Right.
like or custom building, which is
Yeah.
so like in the microcosm of fucking people that ride motorcycles. There's a very tiny, small percentage of people that actually build custom bikes and
Right.
custom bikes like choppers, where like there's a lot of dudes that build custom performance bikes.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah. Yeah.
huge industry.
Yeah.
But people that like old shitty choppers and, you know,
Very
like
small.
so,
Yeah.
so small, dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's a
for
lot of
sure.
people that dip their toes into it and they're like, oh, this shit's fucking hard. And then they're not in it very long. So like the
Yeah.
people that have stuck around for years, and you know, there's some old heads, dude, like Chopper Bob's been in fucking decades, you know,
Yeah.
which he will be coming
Yeah.
on the show. I talked to him. He was like, we're definitely going to do a Chopper Bob episode, but
Cool.
he's a busy guy right now. He has a lot of
Yeah.
shit going on.
I bet. Yeah. His episodes are always super cool. I love his episodes.
He's an encyclopedia of
Yeah,
choppers, dude.
for sure. I don't,
Specific. I mean, he's in his 60s, dude, and he still builds and rides choppers,
yeah, there's
hardtails.
a lot of little stuff that I picked up from listening to him that I use that I don't even realize that I'm like, oh shit, that came from this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's just like, I love talking to him because number one, he's a wealth of information on anything mechanical.
Right.
He's a gearhead, you know,
Yeah.
like he does the machining. He knows like everything. He's been around it for fucking his entire life.
Yeah.
Uh, but also the culture and shit too. Like he's
Right.
just a very wise old head, and he's very talkative too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is you can talk to Bob, dude. If he stops by your house, you're talking to him for hours. You can
Yeah.
just talk and talk and talk.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, we're definitely going to do another Chopper Bob one. It's been
Hell
a
yeah.
long. I don't think I've had him on
I don't
since
think you
I've
have either.
been on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he said he's gonna come on. I'm gonna fucking. I always loved the when you could learn something from the show. You know, like it was always
Yeah.
cool to um
The
get
little nuggets.
into specifically how you do something. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because it's hard. The the abstract stuff is easy. Like everybody knows choppers are cool and stuff, but like once you get into like the fundamentals of how to do a certain thing, and that's when you learn like because I'm sure getting into bikes like for you, uh, have you
It's
ever
really
made a
daunting.
mistake?
Oh,
Have you
fuck.
ever
Yeah.
done
Fuck
something
yeah.
wrong and like
Oh, for
learned from
sure.
that mistake?
Yeah. 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 Many
What was your
times.
first bike when you got into them?
XS. It was an XS
Oh, you got an
650.
XS
Yep.
650.
Yep.
What year was it?
It was I think it was in 1980. It was one of
In
the I think
'80.
it was
Okay.
the first year that they did the TCI ignition on them, the electronic stuff. Which
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's I'm not a big XS guy, but I've owned a couple, and there's like there's like the early ones and then the later ones, and the biggest difference is it like the charging system or something
Yeah,
or
I
what? Okay.
I think so. Yeah, like the really early ones, I think they had like different size forks and trees and stuff like that. It was just like that minor type stuff, but I think the biggest change between the years was the ignition system. Like they're all pretty much the same except for the ignitions. They go
Yeah.
from the points to the electronics in the 80s.
Yeah. So you're still very much in the Yamaha
Oh yeah,
world, right? So you
I love
fell in
them. Yeah,
love your first bike and you're just
yeah,
like, what do
yeah,
you like about
yeah.
the 650s?
I don't know. They're fun. They're fun. They're small, which is funny because I'm 6 foot riding on a fucking tiny little Yamaha, but they're just fun, fun little rippers. They're simple, dead simple, and really, really reliable. Like mine was kind of a piece of shit, and I rode it pretty hard when I did ride it, and not a single thing fucking broke. Like it was so reliable that the first time after building the chopper, I kickstarted it and I didn't notice that my throttle was like wide open. And I kickstarted it and it just fucking went off in the garage, this wide open throttle. And then it vibrated the battery connection loose and it disconnected. And then, so I fixed all that and I got it started again and it had this gnarly rattle. And I didn't know what it was because I'm not too into the innards of the motors. But I thought that it was like the cam chain adjustment because the plastic will come off of the cam chain adjuster and it'll just rattle and make noise. And it happens. And so I thought that that was it. So I was ripping it around town with this gnarly rattle. And then I was like, I should probably open this up and fucking check it out. And it turns out that there's like a thick washer that sits on top of the valve spring. And then it has like the little retainers that hold everything together. That whole washer was cracked in half, just barely holding on to the valve. And it was just still running perfectly. It was like nothing was happening. It was just loud. Like, what the fuck?
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. So they're fucking
Yeah, dude.
reliable. Even with a
Yeah, those
broken.
how did the XS 650 was kind of like a response to something in the market, right? Like
Yeah,
is it the
Triumph, I
sports
think.
the Triumph, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like the response to the Triumph because the motors look super, super similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think like XSs I think are like aside from the Harleys in my book, the best looking
Yeah.
choppers,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
engines definitely have that look and they're still affordable,
Yeah.
compared to some of the other like Triumphs. Triumphs are pretty cheap now though, I will
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Not
Having
a whole
just
lot of
sold the
people are wanting
Triumph, I got
Triumphs.
burnt.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I think I got my first XS running and riding like perfectly for $900. And it
Yeah,
was,
dude.
but
Yeah,
now
I think
they jumped up quite a bit now. Now getting a running and riding one, they're 2,000 in my area,
2000
25
for a
hundred bucks. Yeah,
stock one
yeah, yeah,
running and riding.
yeah. They're getting up
Damn,
there in my
dude.
area. Yeah,
That is expensive.
yeah,
Yeah, I think Triumph's definitely dipped down into that range like 1500
hmm
2000, for a running bike.
yeah.
Um but
I've
damn dude,
never
yeah,
really been.
my first XS was fucking $500 in a
Yeah,
hardtail.
right. Yeah, that's dope. I had to chop mine.
Yeah, I at the
Yeah,
time I wasn't able to weld stuff, so it was like really important to me to get that frame.
right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was like
Welding is
cafe'd
super
out
helpful when you're working on bikes.
for sure. Definitely.
It's a
Yeah,
must
mine was
have.
all. Yeah, definitely. Mine was all cafe'd out and fucking like Amazon cafe parts. It was not good.
Oh yeah, dude.
It
It's
looked
the
like shit.
easiest way to make it cool. Just
Yeah.
get some Clubman bars, flip them upside
Right.
down.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Except
Make a fucking
mine
sheet.
was. I think mine was all cafe'd out, but he kept the stock buckhorns on it, so it just looked weird.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
gross. Yeah,
It
the
was so
stock
gross.
buckwords. Dude, I had a set of fucking like Buckhorn XS 650 bars just kicking around my garage for fucking years. I think it came off that first XS I got like
I got a
fucking 10
pair right
years
there
ago.
on hanging
Yeah.
on the wall.
I got fucking sick of moving them and nobody would buy them at the swap meet, so I just threw them in the garbage.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna cut them up and make something out of them. Make a different kind of bar out of them or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the XSs are good because there's a lot of you don't have to buy a lot of extra parts to make them
hmm
cool.
Right.
You
Yeah. They.
basically strip them down to make them cool.
Yeah. Strip them down, change the handlebars, change the tank if you want to, but they're
Yeah.
yeah, they're super easy to make look good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an XS50. I've never built one. I've
hmm
started several builds on them, but I just never got that I never took it all the way, because I think a lot of it was those were early bikes for me and I didn't have the skill set to like I come across a problem and I'd just be like, "Oh, this is too much for me,"
Right.
or
Yeah, yeah.
like another project came up by and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to work on that instead." Um but yeah, so having your first I'm assuming the allure of the 650 is the price point,
Yeah,
the price of entry, right? So it's like
definitely.
you said, what, $900,
Yeah,
and you can have a running bike, and then you can do all the fun stuff to it to make it like a chopper. You know,
yeah, yeah,
engine
yeah.
work is not fun.
No, no. I was toying around with building the motor. I had a motor torn apart down to the cases, and I hit up North Parts Co. and had him vapor polish everything. And
Oh yeah,
the whole thing came back. It was immaculate. It was so perfect, and I was like ready to build it. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't want to fuck this up. I'm gonna I'm gonna let someone buy it who knows how to build a motor. And so some dude, I don't remember where he's at, but he bores them out to 750 and then builds like flat track motors out of them. So
no
he bought
shit.
it, and yeah,
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
who's the other dude that he's a big vapor honing guy. Pa- Pandemonium
yep.
cycles or something.
Pandemonium
Yeah,
cycles, yeah. Dan, I
yeah.
think is his name.
He punches them out to 750, vapor hones them, does all. He's like a
Rephase,
wizard with these things.
yeah, he does the crank rephase and all that stuff too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, they
know
look good,
anything
fucking
about that.
vapor hone, dude. Those
Oh, dude,
XS650 motors,
yeah,
they look
yeah.
real
I
good.
think the price point was what sold me on them, and then just the motor itself is. I just love the way that the motors look.
Hmm.
They're so just compact and neat. They don't have any weird shit like Honda Shadow motors look fucking. I like Honda Shadows, but Honda Shadow motors, there's something off about them.
Hmm.
They just don't look quite right. And then some of the other, like the what is it, the Suzuki Savage 650, they're cool and they're very similar to the XS, but there's just something off about those too. It's
Yeah,
just the XS. My eyes just immediately gravitated towards the XS motor. It's like that's
yeah.
the shit.
The two big motorcycles that are like really great entry level like price points for choppers are CB750, the Hondas,
Mhm.
and the XS650s. The Hondas are just, I mean, I've seen some cool ones, but those fucking motors are humongous, dude.
Yeah,
The
giant.
XS is like tiny. Like you
Yep.
can lift it up easily, dude, and like
Yeah.
carry it around the shop with one arm.
Yep. Yeah. For sure. Yeah,
Those
I know a guy.
750s are massive, dude.
Yeah, I know a guy who's huge into the CB 750s, and I can't get into them. Like
Mhm.
they look like they'd be fun to ride because they're fast as fuck, but I don't know. The motors are
Dude, fuck
huge.
having four carbs.
Yep. Yep.
Fuck that
I built
noise,
a
dude. I could barely
yeah,
handle one.
yeah, I built a KZ 650, the Kawasaki for my wife, and having four carburetors on that was such a nightmare to get it tuned. It was
Oh my
awful.
god, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. That's a really intimidating too when you take the because I've had my first bike was a 750,
Hmm.
and again it was like it was running and riding. You know, I got it for $500,
Right.
but clean up those carbs, dude, and get them to work. That was fucking. I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
That's
No,
like
thank you.
the most complicated thing on a motorcycle
Yeah.
uh to fucking get just right, especially when you
Yeah.
change shit, you know,
Yeah.
from
And when you
factory.
don't know what you're doing, you're changing everything all at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Do you go
Yeah.
single carb on the Yamaha on the
I do.
650s? You do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually build the intakes.
What's the carb of choice?
One of these guys. It's a Mikuni
Oh yeah.
VM34 or
Round
VM36.
slide or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had two of those on my my XS. So the 2-into-1 manifold, do you fabricate that?
Yeah. Yep. It's got my logo. I don't know if you can
Oh
see it
dude,
or
that's
not.
cool. Okay.
It's got my logo
It's
in
all
it,
one
and then
piece.
yeah,
That's nice and sturdy, bro.
yeah. It's a quarter inch laser cut flange, and then yeah, yeah,
That's nice. That's nice, dude.
yeah.
You
You
can get
can
an XS
do
650 and get it down to one carb. That is very manageable.
yeah, and there's a lot of guys will do the 34. This is a 34, or they'll do a 36, and then I had one customer, well, two customers actually. They are putting, I don't remember the exact like model number of it, but it's some sort of an accelerator pump, Mikuni. Um, I think it's like some sort of a race carb, but they both contacted Mikuni and they're like, "Hey, I got this 2-into-1. I'm running these pipes. What kind of carb would you recommend?" And Mikuni was like, "Oh, get this one." And then they set it up for him, too, and sent it to him. It's like, holy shit. So,
They
I mean,
set
you
it up for him too.
realistically,
Damn.
yeah, yeah. Realistically, you could run pretty much whatever one you want as long as it's not like some giant monstrous carb.
Yeah.
Or if it's as long as it's not like some small little two-stroke carb, that just won't work. But
Yeah. I think I had that same carb. It's like the one to get
yeah,
if you're going down to one carb, and it's pretty dead simple to set
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Super
and XS
simple.
650 has a good aftermarket for it too. Like
Yeah,
comparatively, like obviously Harley's fucking huge, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Sportster's huge aftermarket, especially for chopper shit. But the next best, in my opinion, that I've seen is XS 650.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a big aftermarket for them, and you because you can do so much with them. There's so many different areas that there's just lots of different. Like you can get performance parts, you can get the cafe parts, you can get all
Right.
sorts of shit. Chopper, cafe, scrambler. There's a whole
Hmm.
bunch of different companies that make parts specific for those styles. So it's a great
Yeah.
beginner bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they? So you said you're 6 foot.
Hmm.
How does that handle? Like, because a 650. I mean, I'm used to like 1200 and up,
Hmm.
bikes.
Yeah.
And I'm a big guy.
Right.
I'm 5'12" in my heels. Uh a little husky. I'm a little muscular, big
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah.
Doctor says
Yeah.
my bone marrow is pretty thick.
Right. Yeah.
But how does it perform like acceleration wise and all that shit?
Good. It's good. I had me and my wife on mine, and it was just fine. Couldn't even
No shit.
tell that it had two people on there. It was just it powered
Yep.
through. Yeah.
How long did it take you to build your first chopper?
I think it took me 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years, but that's only because I was trying to learn absolutely every process of the fabrication that I could. Like I didn't want anybody else to touch it. I wanted to be able to make my own wheel spacers. I wanted to be able to like machine my own wheel spacers with my little lathe. I wanted to do all the welding. I wanted to hand make all the tabs, everything I wanted to do. So it took me a while because I was learning everything in the process.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Like once you like there's yeah, I'm the same way. Like I don't nobody touches my bikes but me,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know? Like really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I first of all, I don't like asking for help.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
part of it. I'm stubborn like that. Like I actually need help sometimes and I'm like, no, I gotta figure this out the
I'm
hard
the
way,
same
you know?
way. Yeah.
Yeah. But you learn through that process of
Yeah.
fucking all the struggle of getting fucking figuring it out, especially when you don't know like some people were gifted with like how if you're a kid it's like super easy to like learn a foreign language, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a kid and your dad's mechanical, you're just picking
Right.
it right up,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but when you come into it in like your mid 20s or like
It's a
late 20s,
struggle.
yeah dude, you're already peaked, you peaked in high school and you're already
Yeah.
going back, like
Yeah. For
so
sure.
now it's like you're trying to figure stuff out but your brain's just
Yeah.
not wired that way.
Yeah. I'll
um
fuck something up 10 times before I get it right.
oh
But
yeah.
yeah.
I fuck things up on the daily, dude. You
Yeah.
know,
Me too.
I've built a handful of bikes now, and I've done, even like the ones that I didn't get to completion. I've done a lot of the stuff like multiple different ways and shit. Uh, and I'm at a point now where some things are really easy for me, and some things are still like difficult. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the
Wiring is
things that
that
I
for me.
like for me, like wiring, I just fly right through it
Yeah.
now, and that was like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Now, on your XS, pretty minimal wiring on that too, as I
Hmm.
remember, right? Like,
Yeah.
do you the charging system? It just stands out to me because I remember when I was going through it myself when I was building my XS, which I never completed 100%, but the charging aspect of it was like super confusing, or like the part. There's so much information because I think I had an 80 or an 81,
Hmm.
and there's just so much information about the electrical system on that bike and how to improve it. And a billion different fucking opinions
Yeah.
on the matter.
Yep.
And I was
Yeah.
on XS650.com like
Yep.
every night trying to figure out who's telling the truth, you know?
Yeah, and you're sifting through all the old guys arguing with each other, like, "Oh no, that won't work. No, that's not the way to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty simple. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that whole thing. I still have to follow a schematic, and I get the TC Brothers little simplified harness where it just plugs into the existing connectors and run a couple
I
wires.
forgot about that. They're great because they have like their Harley section and they have XS650
Yep,
section.
yep, yeah. A lot of stuff for my first build was from TC Brothers, just because it was super. It was just convenient. Like a lot of the little stuff that I didn't want to make or didn't necessarily know how it should go together to build
Yeah.
it. I just would buy it and then I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I'll make that next time. But
Yep.
yeah, TC Brothers, they're great for the XF stuff.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah. There's
prettiest
definitely
looking
there.
stuff, but it's so simple and easy to follow how to put it
Oh yeah.
together.
So they actually make a whole wiring harness that you can just pop in.
Yeah, kind of. It's got like some of the same stock style plugs to where it just plugs into your stock rectifier, your stock uh, charging system, stock TCI box if you have it, and then you
Mhm.
just run your wires to your lights, run some wires to your battery, and then it's good to go.
Yep. I'm trying to remember now. Like, I had that XS650. What did I trade it for? I think I traded my CB 750 that I built. That was an absolute piece of shit, dude. Like, I am not proud of my first build. This thing was fucking stupid, dude. It looked stupid. It ran. I was really proud of myself. But dude, this thing was so fucking stupid. And then I traded it for this a basket case XS 650, and
Hmm.
it had like the capacitor and like a bunch of cool go fast parts and shit. But then I was tasked with putting it together, and
Right.
I just wasn't equipped to do it at the time. Um, I don't know. I think I would love if I found one cheap. And it sucks now that they got like up in price. I think it
Right.
too. Like the they made a lot of them, but like over the years, people have accumulated and hoarded a lot of these bikes, dude. Like
Oh yeah,
bike prices
for
are
sure.
slowly creeping up. Some of them have gone down. Like the Triumphs a couple of years ago were like 4 or 5 thousand bucks. Like I remember I was in the
Hmm.
market for one and I was like, what the fuck, dude? And now they're like a couple thousand.
Right.
I haven't really looked on marketplace for like CBs and XSs, but 2,000 for a running but XS650 seems like a lot of money because I
Yeah.
was buying them
Yeah.
for under 1,000.
Yeah. I don't know if people are actually selling them for that much. I see them listed for that. Once in a while, I'll see one listed for $3,500. Like you're on crack, dude. But I don't know
Yeah,
if they're actually selling for that much because I just sold a bone stock 78 XS for like $1,200, and it
yeah.
just needed like a little tiny bit of wiring work, but it ran, had perfect compression, all that stuff. It was great. Sold it to a 19-year-old kid. He had it running that same day.
Fuck
So
yeah, dude. I
yeah,
love that shit.
yeah, I was stoked. I gave him my phone number. I was like, dude, if you ever need any help with anything, hit me up. I'll come over and I'll fucking help you. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I always if I'm selling a bike or whatever and it's a young kid that doesn't really know what he's doing, I always hook it up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I had it listed for a lot more, and he showed up. He's like, "I got this much. Will you take this?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude, that's
Yeah.
fine."
Yeah, you get a discount if you're actually into building shit yourself, you know.
Right? Yeah, he
You're out
showed
there to
up.
learn.
Yeah, he showed up, and he was like, "I'm already a member of the XS forum, and I've already been researching this bike, how to fix it, and all this." I'm like, "Fucking sweet, dude. Here you
That's
go."
fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's important to get those young kids into this because
yeah,
right now there's a huge age gap. Like
yeah,
the old chopper dudes, they are geriatric, dude, right? They're like north of 60. They're
for sure.
collecting fucking social security and they only got a few more years left, you know, cuz
Yeah,
they lived hard back in the day, dude. You know what
yeah.
I mean? They didn't have vitamins and shit when they were growing up.
All right.
So they're all going to die off and then the next like biggest chunk or demographic is dudes in their 40s and
Hmm.
30s, you know, like mid 30s to mid 40s. and we're gonna be the graybeards, dude, for those 19-year-olds, and they're gonna be
Yeah.
like, "Man, I need a gray." Because I mean, we're all turning gray already,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're gonna want a graybeard dude to teach them some of this shit, and we gotta get them into it now. You know,
Yep.
otherwise it's
For
just gonna
sure.
go away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah. I want
most
that.
kids these days are not into building choppers, right?
No, not at
They have
all.
video games and stuff. Video
Yeah.
games are awesome nowadays, dude.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, video games sucked, dude. Super Mario sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like compared to a video game that you can nowadays,
Yeah.
like it was
It was
awesome at the
garbage.
time, but
Yeah.
eight
Yeah. Looking
bits,
back
bro.
now, I actually went back not too long ago and downloaded some of the old video games that I used to play, just hoping that it was as cool as I thought it was then. It wasn't.
No,
Not
dude,
even
kids have a
close.
good imagination. Like I remember playing Super Mario Brothers or like the Ninja Turtle game or NES days, or like
The Beavis and Butthead game.
Sega Genesis type shit, And now my kids, because you can get it on you can go to Walmart and get like 500 games on a fucking USB
Yeah.
stick,
Yep.
and they play that shit, and I'm like, dude, these games fucking suck. I played this, but
Yeah.
we didn't play it
Right.
that much because you can
Right.
only play
Yeah.
it for so long before you're
Yeah.
like,
An hour
this
or
sucks.
two.
It has the same song on a loop for. You're not playing it for hours,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
There was no
Yeah.
online.
No. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these kids nowadays, man, I sound old and ornery, but you know, uh, I just went to the last spot at Chopper Show and I was talking to some old heads and some dudes that have been in the game for a long time, and they've seen it all.
Mhm.
They lived through the early aughts boom and the fucking American chopper shit, and uh, the dudes that are really into it that are still sticking around and shit. They're really rooting for the younger generation to like step up and fucking keep this
Cool.
stuff alive. And
Yeah.
to me, it's really important because it's like not just, I mean, it's really a culture of doing things yourself. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And, but also it's cooler because motorcycles are super dangerous.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody can DIY a house. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to have balls to repaint your fucking foyer
Right.
or make
Yeah.
a fucking upcycle a fucking something that you found at the dump.
Yeah.
But to really do like really hard shit, dude, motorcycles are hard
Yeah.
to
Yeah. They
make
are.
good, and choppers especially because it's fabrication, it's engine work, it's paint, it's fucking like metal resurface. It's a lot of different things that you need a big investment in too. Actually, I was
Definitely.
going to ask you, did you upgrade your lathe, or are you still using the
Nope. I
Harbor Freight?
upgraded. I'm actually right over here. You can't really see it, but I just picked up probably a couple months ago. I got a 1943 South Bend lathe, and I
Three
restored it.
three.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. It's got a U.S. Navy stamp on the bed, like it was on a ship somewhere in the Navy, and
That's fucking wild.
it came with the original manual on how to run it, and it has property of U.S. Navy stamped in it.
Where'd you get it? Did you get it off like an old Navy dude?
It was just some dude I found on Marketplace. His dad died, and he was cleaning out his dad's garage, and he was like, $300, come fucking get it. Like, fucking okay, yeah. So
Dude,
it needed
he'd still be
restored.
on the phone. Say he wouldn't have even finished saying 300. I
Yeah,
would have been a puff of smoke. I'd be in his garage
that's pretty
behind him
much
before
what
he hung
happened.
up.
That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah,
I I just hustled up there to go get it. And it needed
300.
restored though. Yeah, it was
It did.
totally fucking rusted out. Like you could tell it had been in the guy's shop for probably 25 plus fucking years, just collecting shavings and oil and grease. But I
Yeah.
took it all apart, took everything apart, and totally rebuilt it. So it's good as new now.
See, that's the other thing about building stuff yourself and doing everything yourself. You go on these little side quests too,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're good at like building bikes and stuff, but then you're like, oh, I want to upgrade my skill set. So you get a lathe, and then you have to go down that on that tangent
Yeah.
in your life where all you do is figure out how to rebuild the lathe. Are you like
Yeah.
replacing parts? Or are you just like refurbishing the ones that they
Um,
have? Or
there was a couple parts that I had to replace. I don't remember exactly what they were now, but um, the South Bends are awesome because they made this one's a it's a 9 inch South Bend. I think it's a Model B, but they made it an No, it's a Model C. They made an A, a B, and a C. And the B was like bottom barrel, didn't have the cool attachments. The C was a little bit better, and then the A was the best one. But there's people on eBay who sell rebuild kits for these, to where
Oh,
you can get all new you can get all new bearings. You can get all new, like, the oiling felts that go in all the little holes that suck up all the oil, lubricate everything. Um, yeah, there's people all over the place that specifically sell stuff just for these, so you can refurbish them, rebuild them, and make them brand new again. And
that's
that's what I
fucking
did.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I have a South Bend lathe waiting for me. I just have to figure out how to move it out of a basement up a
Oh,
narrow
fun.
stairs. It was probably built. The house was built around this fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Right. Yeah. Is it one of the big, huge ones?
It's not that big. It's
Okay.
I haven't looked at the picture in a million years, but it was my a family member passed away, and
Mm,
it was his father's, and he was a
okay.
mechanic, and his father was like a mechanic, and they had this old lathe,
Yeah.
and I think it's South Bend. Pretty sure,
Cool.
about 99.8% sure. I don't know if
The
it's A, B,
cool.
or C,
Right.
but
The cool
I
thing
just saw
about the, like,
free
the
lathe, and I was like, yes.
yeah, right. The cool thing about the old ones like this, like the old South Bend, the old Craftsman, and the old Atlases. There's probably other ones that are similar, but they're super easy to take apart. Like, they're
Oh yeah.
really, there's not a whole lot of moving parts to them. Some of the newer ones are insane, but these old ones, they're super simple. And I showed up with my toolbox. I took the whole thing apart and put it in my van in pieces, and I was able to just lift it out of the guy's garage myself. Just
Oh no
with the
shit.
Yeah, the 9 inch ones are nice because they're small.
That's
You just
actually
take out.
really good to know.
Yeah.
So you disassembled it to get
Hmm.
to transport it.
Yeah, yeah. If it's, I think if it's the, I think up to the 13 inch South Bends, they're pretty easy to take apart and transport. They're not too terribly heavy. You could do it with like one or two other people. But the 9 inch ones are nice because you can lift it yourself. It's still heavy as fuck, but you don't need a forklift or anything to lift it out.
Yeah. No shit. Hmm.
Yeah.
So how was the like? How'd you acquire machining knowledge to like figure out how to operate a lathe?
I
Just
just wanted it.
YouTube.
Yeah. Actually, my uncle, I remember, like, when I was teeny tiny going to my uncle's house. He was a welder. I didn't understand what he did at the time, but he was a welder and a machinist. And I remember seeing lathes all over the place in his shop. Had no idea what they did until I got older. Um, but I remember that that sparked an interest really early on. That, like, that's fucking cool. That's a big ass machine. I wonder what that does. That looks really cool. And so, like, it's always, the interest has always kind of been there, but I didn't pursue it until I actually got into motorcycles. I was like, oh, okay, I should probably get one of these so I can make round parts, more round.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then it's
Yeah,
just
it's like
YouTube.
it's definitely like if you're building bikes, the first thing you absolutely need to have is a welder,
Yeah,
and then the next thing is a lathe, and
yeah,
then that just like unlocks so many
yeah,
possibilities. You
yeah.
know, like dude, like I've been struggling with I wish I had a lathe because
Hmm.
I've been trying to space my front wheel and like grinding stuff and cutting
Yeah,
it with a bandsaw is like gets you in the
yeah,
ballpark, dude, but it
yeah.
ain't where you
It
want to
ain't.
be,
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah, dude, definitely pick up one of those mini lathes. They're great for wheel spacers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get on kicks where like I'll go on Facebook Marketplace and I'll look for something very specifically and I
Hmm.
look at them all and then I my OCD kicks in and I have something else I really want, you know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, I want a mini truck now. And
yeah.
then
Same
that's
here.
all I look
Same
at.
here. I do that too,
Yeah.
all
Dude,
the time.
I had a fucking there was a dude that was super close to me and he had a mini lathe and a mini milling machine. And he had it for like they were like it was like just the right price, you know?
Hmm.
And I was like, I'll take it. And he messaged me back on Marketplace. He's like, sold. And I was like,
Oh,
awesome. Where are you? And he's like, no, I sold it. I
shit.
was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Damn, that shit sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, the next step
When
is
I
definitely a
really want
mill.
something, I'm like, I'll pick it up right now. I have cash. I'm not gonna fucking, like, I'm not gonna bust your balls. I
Right.
let them know that all up front. Like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
give you cash and pick it up. So
Yeah.
when he said sold, I was like, fuck yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And he
Stoked.
broke my heart.
Oh,
So fuck that guy.
damn. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
It
That's funny.
Once you sell it, take the fucking listing down, asshole.
I hate that shit. I hate it. Yeah. It's the worst.
Yeah. It's the second worst after you put in your ad, don't ask if this is still available or I will not respond to you. And then it's just, is still available? Is this still available? They need
Right.
to do away with that function completely.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Just put the message button.
And then you have to type something.
Yeah. Yep. Terrible.
Yeah. We have the technology. They should have like an AI bot. Like if you send like, hi, is this still available? Even if you type it out, it just automatically kicks you off the platform.
Right. Forever. You're done.
Yeah. You're never allowed on Facebook Marketplace again.
Yeah. No, you lost it.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Beck Built Fab. How did that come around? What are you doing?
Um, well, it started from me wanting to branch out and fix other people's shit, build stuff for other people. So I just came up with a name and a quick little logo, and then um, it branched off into like XS 650 mid controls and jockey shift and the modified worm gears to run foot clutch. And that
Oh yeah,
came,
I bought that. I bought
yeah,
that modified worm gear. I remember that was a
yeah,
big one.
hell yeah. Yeah, that came from while I was building my first bike. Jay over at Jump Street Customs, he was the one building all of the jockey shifts and the mid controls and all that stuff. And I was at the point where I was ready to build some foot controls for my bike. And I hit him up. I was like, "Hey, how can I ask you some questions about how you put these together?" And he sent me a whole video of like, "This is what you need," like an exploded diagram, but with the real parts. This is exactly what you need. This is the size tubing. This is the type of part. Everything you do this, and this, put it together, and you got yourself foot controls. I'm like, fuck. Okay. So I built my own, and then just from that interaction, we kept talking like over the years, and we became buddies. And he, I was talking about wanting to build parts to sell online, and he was like, "Oh, dude, you should take over my intakes for the XSs. Here's the fucking cut file. Here's everything for the flange. Here's what I use. Go to town. You can have it." Like, all right, fucking thanks. And so I started doing those, and then he was like, "You know what? I've been doing these for 15 years now. I don't want to do it anymore. Here's all my files. Here's all the information. Here's all my instructions. You go build the mid controls, jockey shifts, foot clutch shit. It's all yours. Here you go." It's like, holy fuck. So that's how it just kind of fell in my lap because he was tired of doing it.
Dude, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
was the guy
Yep. Yep. He was
for
the guy.
chopper XS
Yeah.
650 chopper shit. That's it.
Yep. It was like him and Pandemonium, and then
Yep.
he was hand built. They were like the big three. But yeah.
Oh yeah,
So now,
Hughes. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he does the ignition systems, the really good
So
ignition systems. And
is Jump Street done right now?
no, no, I think he's in the middle of like building a house and shit. I think he just got a shovel head not too long ago that he's been going crazy with. So I think he's wanting to branch off into more Harley centric parts for
Ah,
people. And so I think he's just done with the XS 650 stuff for now. Once in a while, he'll still build some controls for somebody. Um, but he's mostly just done, I think, with the XS stuff.
no
Um,
shit.
yeah,
And he just gave it to you.
yeah, yeah, and
That's
he'll
fucking
still,
so cool, dude.
yeah, yeah, huge, huge for me, and it was fucking awesome. Yeah,
Dude,
and he'll,
because he was doing it, you said what, 15 years?
yeah,
All that knowledge, just like,
all
here you
that
go, pal.
knowledge. Yep. Yeah, and I still talk to him every day, and like any question I have, he's right there to answer. So it's,
Dude, I remember talking to
yeah,
him. I remember talking to him when I was doing my XS. He was like
hmm,
super open and
yep,
because I had some questions because I was like retarded and I was like,
yeah,
how does this worm gear work? And he
yeah,
was like,
right,
let me walk you through it, bud.
yeah, Yeah, that's
Is
how I
he
was
out
when I
in
was looking them up.
Washington too, or where is
No,
he
he's
headquartered?
in Michigan.
Michigan. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He'll still do. He still has up on his site that he does like zero stretch hardtail frames for XS 650. But I'm eventually going to be taking those over as well.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
So are you tooling up to do like getting a frame jig and all that shit?
Yep. Yep. I'm working on it. Yeah. We're out.
Oh
I
man.
have just about everything I need except for the jig and the bender, and I'm ready to build frames. So
Yeah, dude. Oh, the tubing benders. That's a big cost.
yeah, yeah. For a decent one, you can
Dude.
get a crappy one and do okay. Like if you're just doing
Even the crappy
handlebars,
ones are expensive as fuck, dude. The manual
yeah,
benders.
yeah,
If you're like a
yep,
normal working dude,
yeah, yeah. If you're just planning on like doing handlebars, the Harbor Freight pipe bender, it works. I
does
was
it?
talking to yeah, I was talking to Jay, but I've never done it personally, but I was really wanting to do some handlebars, and he said that for 10 years, that's all he used for making handlebars, and it was just fine.
Did he modify it at all?
I don't think so. I think he just used it as
Really?
is, and he got lucky. Maybe his bender worked fucking perfect, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy. I tried to bend. I got one of those to try to modify it to make because so essentially like when you're it's a pipe bender.
Hmm.
So pipes are measured for the inside
Inside. Yep.
diameter, and tubing is the outside diameter. So if you get a 1 inch die and you put it in that thing and you fucking put a 1 inch tube in it, then obviously it's not going to bend it correctly.
Right.
But there's I tried to modify it with you can cut like piping in half, right?
Hmm.
So then the 1 inch tube does fit into it, but you also have to have something on the other side, like a
A
like a
carrier
U
kind of a
bolt,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So something for it to draw again, so it doesn't kink.
Yep.
I had zero luck with that. I tried to modify it for tubing and kinked immediately, like
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
immediately.
I've seen very mixed stuff with those. I've seen people build full roll cages with them, and it was perfect with tubing. And then I've seen people try to do some small stuff, and it just kinks immediately. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, dude. I don't know. I know that like I've had the like a tubing, an actual like tube bender in my cart, like about to check out, about to pull a trigger. And I'm like, no, that's just too fucking
Yeah.
expensive.
Same here. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I need a
like a
real
hundred times
reason.
because you have to
Yeah.
get the bender, the
Yeah.
stand, and then you
Yeah.
have to get the fucking die,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
probably want two dies so you can do 7/8 and 1 inch.
Yeah.
And those things
Yeah.
are fucking $250 a piece just for the die.
Yeah. Or more. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the most
Someday.
expensive. Yeah. I got to get more orders before I can get one of those.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Sweet. So how are you taking in business right now? Is it like mostly like through Instagram and Facebook or
I have a website, and then I'll do just social media posts. I'll just blast it out there to every single 650 page I can find.
what's your website?
www.beckbuiltfab.com.
Beckbillfab.com.
Yeah,
Simple.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And
And
I got.
are you doing custom orders or are you just running parts that people can
I'll do some custom orders, like if there's
you will?
little modifications that people want, or if they come to me with an idea. I'm definitely open to it. But most of the time, it's just the same parts over and over, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I've got the modified worm gear. This guy. This is a 3D printed version of it, but
I had that.
yep.
So explain that real quick because it's been a minute since I had that. So what's the worm gear do?
So the worm gear sits inside the case. Trying to figure out how to. So it sits inside the case. This is the piece that actuates the push rod on the clutch, and this arm here, you connect it to your foot clutch setup, and so when you push on your foot clutch, or it'll actually push it up. Push on the foot clutch, push it up. This will push in and actuate your push rod on the clutch.
Okay. And it's different from the stock worm gear? Is it going like in a different direction, right?
No, no, I think it's no, it's the same.
It is the
It's the
same.
same.
Okay.
Yeah, it uses a stock worm gear. I buy them on eBay, and then
Oh, no
I'll
shit.
make them right out of there. So it's a direct fit,
No
and it
shit.
has the same kind of adjustment where it's got like an Allen head, and then it's got a lock
That's
near its
super slick,
same
dude.
exact.
That's
Yeah,
super slick. Cause then you don't have to fuck it,
no
the
modifications.
adjustments the same and all that shit.
Yep, yep. You can still
No
follow
shit,
your
dude.
manual exactly how it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, assuming
And
you
then
have a manual.
the mid controls. I remember the mid
Hmm.
controls were a big thing for the XS 650 too.
Yeah,
Because they sit pretty nice. Like
yeah, yeah.
with a lot of the Harleys, right? So they sit up. I have a little bit of a beer gut because I
Hmm.
enjoy a few Modelos here
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And the mid controls are fucking high, dude.
yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't it's pretty extreme compared to like the XS 650.
Right. Yeah, they sit pretty good. I actually have some mounted up on this bike. If,
Oh
you have
yeah,
the
scooch
ability to
over. Let me
zoom
see
in or
that.
anything?
Yeah, we can just see it here.
So, oh, I think
Oh,
my
there you go.
label.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. This is a drum brake version right here. It mounts up to the stock exhaust mount, so it's all set up. So if you cut your frame and you leave the stock exhaust mount, you got your chopper, your hardtail going on. You just bolt these right up and run the linkage to the drum brake, and it
Sick.
right there. Yeah,
Dude, so
this isn't.
so simple too.
Yeah, this is an old version. It has like the spring return right here. That's not on there anymore.
Yep.
So it's a little cleaner. And then on the other side, it's set up exactly the same, except for just a small tab that comes off this side that hooks to the worm gear for your foot clutch. Yeah,
Yep. Dude,
and it
I
uses
love the mechanical brakes because they're just so stupid simple. It's just like
right.
you want this thing to move. There's a
Yeah,
rod that connects these two things.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
No shit, dude.
Yeah,
And you said you do those for mechanical in disc.
disc. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because in the earlier years, that was another difference of the XS versions. In the earlier years, they were drum brake only. The later years, they came with disc. So,
On your I another big or a fashionable mod, I don't know if I can call it that, is replacing the front end with Harley
oh,
front
yeah,
end.
yeah,
Have you
yeah.
done that before?
I'm doing that on my current build that I'm. It's in a not this one, but I got a frame from Jay, so I'm gonna build one of those, and I'm actually using a mixture of Harley and Suzuki front end parts.
Oh no shit.
I'm doing the narrow glide Sportster trees with Suzuki Intruder forks. Yeah.
That sounds pretty fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
they're the same
why
size.
swapping out the forks? Are they like
I already had the Intruder forks because I was going to put them on my last build that I did. I was going to put the Intruder front end, and it just didn't work out.
uh
I ended up going with the GSXR street bike front end. Um, but I had the forks, and I was out in the shop looking at them one day, and I had a Sportster for a little while. I started chopping it and hardtailed it and all that stuff. I ended up having to sell it, but I was looking at the Intruder forks. I was like, those look very similar to the narrow glide forks, and they look really close to the same size. So I put calipers on them, and they're the exact same size as the narrow glide trees. So I was like, fuck, I already have these. I'm just gonna order some Sportster trees, and there we go. So
no shit, dude.
yeah, and they have a cool
Yeah.
taper to them. They're buried right now, but they have a really cool taper to them that is just different from other stuff that people run. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn, dude. Yeah, I'm scraping my memory. So I'm an old man now, so it's like really hard for me to remember shit. So I'm trying
yeah,
to remember shit from like 10 years ago when I had an XS 650. But
right.
yeah, dude, awesome platform. And
Mhm.
there's so much you could do with it. Because a lot of dudes punch those out to 750.
Mhm.
Have you ridden what like a 750? Does it make a big
No,
difference?
I haven't. I'm the only person that I know that rides XSs around here.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
How
I
is the
don't.
chopper scene out by you?
I mean, it's good. Like up north, Seattle, Tacoma. Um, we just got back from the One Moto show down in Portland. Portland has a big scene down there, but where I'm at, there's hardly anything at all. It's like Softail guys and Dyna Bros.
Yeah.
There's a couple chopper guys scattered about, but they're reclusive. They don't fucking come out. I haven't been
Guys,
able to stop
if
one.
you're in the Washington area, the Western Washington area, hit up fucking Dustin here, buddy.
Yeah,
Link
yeah,
up.
yeah, for sure.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, that's fucking so cool though. That like you went from in a really short amount of time, you went from not owning a bike, you got a wild hair up your ass, you found choppers, you learned a bunch of shit, tooled up, you essentially assumed a business, and now you're doing it full time.
trying. Yeah, yeah.
As of when? You said you quit your job
uh,
like last week?
last week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They kind of forced me to. So
Oh, they forced
yeah,
you to.
yeah,
So it
kind
was
of.
fate.
Yeah, my wife started a business too, and so she was actually a vendor down at the One Moto show. Um, she was slinging snow cones and lemonades all weekend at the One Moto, and I needed to be down there to help her set up one day, and I fucked up on the day. I thought it was a different day, and I went in. I was like, "So I need this day off." And they're like, no, that doesn't work for us." I'm like, "Okay, well, I have to be there. I don't have a choice." They're like, "Well, it sounds like you need to make a decision. You can stay here or go start your business." I'm like, "All right, see you later." So
Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah.
Fuck the man, dude.
Yeah, that was my last day. Like I talked to him that day, and then I left, and then I that was it.
Bro, if you have an employer like that,
Yeah,
that's your sign to leave.
yeah. I mean, they've been super lenient about stuff, but the dude, the owner, he doesn't like change, so he
Yeah.
gets pissed off at change. So it was whatever.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah,
But it's good
yeah,
because
yeah.
now it's
It's
like, all
good.
right,
Yeah,
time to get fucking hustling.
yeah, yeah. I got this bike behind me that I'm gonna be working on getting out. Try to get out in a couple weeks, and then I got a couple orders that I got to finish up, and then I'm gonna be hustling.
Got a whole fucking family of entrepreneurs over there. How long has your
Yeah.
wife been working for herself?
2 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And what does she do? She does snow cones
Lemonades, fresh squeezed
and
lemonades and stuff.
lemonades. She just
Yeah.
she travels
But
around, goes to the little
yeah,
fails
but
and fairs and shit.
she does like fancy shit, like not just the off the shelf
Oh,
lemonade. Like she like put a lot of thought into these recipes for lemonades and stuff. So she does like mangonada lemonades and Cajun peach lemonades and stuff, like super really good stuff.
does she do like weddings and shit like that, or is it
She
more
wants
like
to.
bigger events?
Yeah, she wants to. This was her first big event, and she did it
Oh,
all by herself,
fuck yeah, dude.
all weekend. So yeah,
What's her business name?
Wild Heart Cool Cart.
Wild Heart Cool Cart. Ooh,
Yeah, yeah,
I can go for a little icy treat, dude.
yeah,
Sounds
dude.
good.
Come
I
on
like
over.
that.
Yeah, I'll put
I'm
one
flying
in those. I'll put
tomorrow.
one in
I'm
those.
taking a red eye tonight, dude.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. I'll put one in those little food shipping boxes, and hopefully it doesn't melt.
Dude, that's awesome,
Yeah,
dude. That's oh man. That's a
yeah.
dream though. Your wife's working for herself, you're working for yourself. How many kids you got?
3.
3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Yeah.
youngest?
2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
young
Grinding,
in
grinding.
kids years. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. That's must be stressful, but that's fucking super exciting.
yeah.
And I can attest to the quality here, fellas, because you made the taillight for my Sportster that I had,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish I took it off before I sold it. I
Yeah.
always That's one thing I always regret is not replacing all the cool little parts that nobody cares about on the bike.
Right.
Like when they buy it, like foot pegs and fucking timing covers or whatever the
Right.
fuck. You have all this
Yeah.
custom shit. Nobody's buying it for that.
Right. Yeah.
I should have taken it off and just put some
Yeah.
bullshit fucking V
Yeah.
twin shit on it.
Right. I'll make you another one. Hit me up.
All right, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I
I
think
actually
I still have the paper that has all the measurements and everything from that
oh
light.
no shit.
Yeah. So I could probably
It was a good
replicate that
light.
same.
It was
Yeah.
bright
Cool. Thank
and it
you.
was super simple.
Mm-hmm.
I actually my dumbass dude. So I have a box full of parts for the Sportster build. I have the soft tail that I'm doing. So I order a tail light for the soft tail. I realized that I have the same exact light just sitting in this box of parts, but that's not even the worst part. Before I realized I had that in the box of parts, I went to a swap meet and I bought the same exact light that I
Oh,
just
fuck.
bought.
You got
I
3
bought a
of
light
them?
for $40. I got one at a swap meet for 20 and I had one for free. So now I have
Oh,
3 of these
fuck.
goddamn tail
That's
lights.
funny. Sounds like something
Yeah.
I would do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I have dual headlights and a soft tail and I was like, maybe I'll do dual fucking tail lights too.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Triple it up.
I got a fucking surplus of tail lights here.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's dope.
Oh, stupid me. So, um what's like next for you? Are you just kind of trying to like make parts, keep stock, do some custom stuff? Are you branching out, or is there anything that in the future that you want to get into? I know you said doing some frame stuff, but is
Mhm.
that like the next big leap? Is there anything else you have your eye on?
My I have my eye on a shop right now. I'm trying to
Okay.
just bust ass and get enough money to move into a shop. There's a shop local to me. It's an old muffler shop and owned by an old dude, and he's willing to give me a really good deal on it. But I just got to get the money to get in there. Yeah, and he's so the muffler shop. He had like the actual garage portion of it is only where he kept his tools, and then he set up like a big carport thing in the parking lot, and he wired it with all the power he would need to run all of his like his exhaust benders and all that stuff. So it's already set up for my wife to move a food truck into the parking lot. So if I can get in there, then I can have the shop for fabrication stuff, and then she can be in the parking lot with on the same at the same spot, and we can just work together right there.
That's
So
fucking awesome, dude.
that's the main goal is that. But yeah, frames, general fabrication too. Like if I got a guy right now who I'm going to build a gate for, like a big sliding gate. Yeah,
Oh,
just
so
kind
you'll
of do.
do like any kind of fab?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No shit.
yeah. Yeah,
That's fucking
I've
awesome.
worked in a bunch of different shops. Like I've only been doing it for like 6 years, but I think I've been in like 6 different shops. So I've just been trying to absorb as much knowledge as I can, so that when I do go out on my own, there isn't anything that I can't do. So I've
Yep.
just been trying to absorb it all. So yeah,
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah,
I didn't even say this yet. So I'm going to announce it right now at the end of the show. But our boy here, Dustin, is the newest sponsor of the Lowlife podcast.
yeah, hell yeah,
We sealed the deal in
yeah,
blood.
fuck yeah,
Dude, I'm so excited too.
yeah.
I was so super stoked, dude, when you were messaging me and you were like, "Yeah, we got fucking I fucking got dude, the Jump Street thing was fucking
Mhm.
huge."
Yeah,
Cuz he's like
massive.
I'm not even an XS guy and I'm like, that's a household name.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so
And
what a
there's still
meteoric rise, dude.
oh
From
yeah,
not knowing shit about fucking motorcycles to like being self-employed and having that caliber of parts. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for
because that
sure.
you have it at your fingertips and all you
Yeah,
have to do is execute on it. And
yeah,
I'm just so excited to see what you do with it, you know?
yeah. Thank you. Me too. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
low
and
lives,
I want to do a giveaway too.
you're going to do a giveaway?
Yeah, I want to try to do a giveaway through you guys.
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. I want to do the full package: intake, worm gear, foot controls, and jockey shift.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah, set somebody up.
Dude, that's huge. That's fucking
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll do a giveaway. You just let me know when you're ready and we'll do it.
yeah, yeah. I got some parts. I've got some parts for it coming already. I just got to build it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude.
fuck yeah,
We'll do it whenever you're ready.
yeah,
We've been lacking on the XS650 boys. I think
yeah.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to get, I think I've interviewed like one metric dude since I've been
Hmm.
on the show.
Yeah.
But I honestly, dude, I love the XS650. I think
Hmm.
for me, uh I don't know. It looks like I might be too fat for it. I'm not sure though.
No,
I need to rip
no.
one. I need to rip one.
Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot and I'm like, I don't know, 260 ish, and I
Oh,
mean
okay.
it does just fine.
No shit. Okay, so
They
I'm not too
honestly,
fat for an
to me, to
XS660.
me they honestly feel like I'm ripping a little dirt bike around town. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Yeah,
Damn, dude. Yeah, maybe I'll pick up one once the
yeah,
prices dip. I ain't paying
yeah, right.
$1,200 for one, but
Yeah. The cool
I
thing
wonder though
is
how the market is different though, East and West Coast, because you like in Washington, you don't have like a bunch of states like in New England.
right.
I can make a trek up to Maine, like northern Maine, and those dudes are like they have a different language. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
right,
they don't have like the market that like someone in Massachusetts has or whatever.
right.
But in Washington, I'm assuming that there's a lot of little tiny towns, and you just have to commute
Yeah,
to them to find the good
yeah,
deals. So
yeah, for
spread
sure.
that marketplace little circle, get that big.
Yeah, and I
Go to
also
those little
feel like
podunk towns.
being right in the middle between Seattle and Portland kind of screws the market a little bit too,
True.
because the two massive cities where people are always like, there's fads all over the place, and people are just going to want massive amounts of money for this really popular thing right now.
Yeah,
So
and those are
it's really
big
hard.
big cities, and
Yeah,
people that live in the big cities, they tend to have a little bit of money, and it
yeah,
might not be money that they've earned on their own. So they have
right. Yeah,
expendable income,
yeah, for sure.
to buy fucking frivolous things.
Yeah, definitely.
No shit, dude.
Yeah,
Was there anything that we didn't touch on, bud, that you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that was about
Okay.
it. We got
We
all the
we gotta
parts.
connect at some point. I know it feels impossible because we're on other ends of the country,
Hmm.
but if I ever find myself on the West Coast, I
Yeah.
gotta. I've been to Seattle before.
Okay.
Been to the
Yeah.
Space Needle. Been to
Yeah.
Boeing. So there's a chance. And if you ever come
Yeah.
out east, you want to take a family trip cross country,
Yeah.
me and Dan will set you guys up out here.
Cool. I'm really wanting to try to get out to Michigan to meet up with Jay and have him walk me through how he makes his frames and stuff. So it's
No shit.
possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That's awesome. Yeah, dude. I gotta talk to that guy too.
Yeah.
I've
Do
been
it.
wondering what we were talking about maybe having both you on the podcast,
Right. I
but
totally forgot
I should
about
hit
that.
him up.
Yeah. He's probably gonna see this and be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Hey,
Sorry,
we
Jay.
all good, all love, bud, for
Yeah.
Jump
Yeah.
Street. I mean,
For sure. Yeah. He's been
uh,
an amazing help to me through my whole process.
yeah,
It's
dude,
crazy.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love hearing those stories of people that like. I'm not si- I'm not the guy. I mean, so like just if you guys didn't already notice, I'm not like the guru of motorcycle. I don't know everything. Especially after like our Q&A episode, people like that actually know what they're doing where it's like that's not what that means at all, you fucking idiot. But, I'm just here trying to help out as best I can.
Yeah.
But dudes that really know it, I got mad respect for them because
Yeah.
they
For sure.
actually know what the fuck they're talking about. They
Yeah.
actually did the thing. I don't have that constitution. Like
Right.
I wouldn't be able I wouldn't be able to do what you or Jay does and like get
Yeah.
things precision where I could be like, "Hey, here's a part that I made."
Right.
I'm a hacker, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You should see the
I'm.
paint job I got going downstairs, dude. It is fucking bad. And Dan's coaching me through the whole thing and I'm
Yeah.
fucking it up.
Dude, Dan's
But
shit's fucking awesome.
yeah,
Dan,
dude.
holy fuck.
He's a beast. He knows what the fuck
Yeah.
he's talking about.
Yeah.
I definitely have to FaceTime him a few times. Be
Right.
like, dude, I bought all. He just said buy this, 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 and this. I bought it, and then I was like, all right, now what do I do with it all?
Right. Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't go as planned. I had like, oh, dude, that's a story for another day. But I am definitely not at that level, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that sort of shit though, like
Right.
that you're able to transfer that knowledge. Like even if Jay sat me down and he was like, yeah, here's the plans on how to do it, I would guarantee I would fuck it up.
Right.
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Even if I had the right
And
tooling.
yeah. Oh,
So I
and I
appreciate it.
have a couple intakes laying around that are I don't they're fucked up.
Sell
I
them at
was
a
he
swap at a discount.
Yeah, he went through when he was transferring everything to me. He went through and 3D printed a full set of mid controls, a full hand shifter, all that shit, and sent it to me, and it's all to perfect scale to where it's like I can build off of them, and I've still fucked
Wow,
up.
dude,
So
having a 3D printer, that would be pretty dope. I
yeah,
actually found one at a swap meet for $100.
you should have got it.
I regret not getting
Yeah,
it,
I want one
but I
so
was just
bad.
like, I don't want to learn how to do that, but
Right.
it
Yeah.
probably would be wicked helpful.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've learned throughout this whole thing is a little bit of CAD design. So I've
Oh, no
learned how to
shit.
model. Yeah, I've learned how to model some stuff. So I really want to get a 3D printer so I can prototype my parts that I come up with before I have to like waste all the steel to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Plastic
Yeah.
is cheap,
Yeah. I think it's like 20 or $25 a roll for the filament for the 3D printers, something
Oh
like
yeah.
that,
And
for like cheap
I
shit.
mean, I'm not a fucking, a broker or anything, but I'm pretty sure that prices for raw materials like steel and stainless steel are going to go up in the
Yeah,
near
for
future, but
sure. For sure.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything go down in price since I've been alive, so I'm
Right.
assuming everything is just going to get more expensive until I die.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day because I used to work in a sprinkler fabrication shop, which is weird because Greece worked in one of those too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I used to work in one of those shops, and a lot of the pipe that they get is from Korea or Turkey, and so I'm like, I was thinking about it the other day when I was thinking about material costs. I was like, oh, dude, that shop is they're gonna be hurting.
Oh dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fucked up though that it's cheaper to get steel from Korea
yeah,
across the fucking globe
right.
than it is to just get it here.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's
they
fucked up.
had the USA made shit, but it was only for like military base applications.
Well, at least they're only using
Yeah,
USA made stuff.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're like, yeah, just raise taxes a little bit on these guys. I don't care.
yeah,
It's for
right.
the
Yeah,
military. All right.
yeah,
Before I get too political here, Dustin, has been awesome talking to you. I'm glad
yeah.
that we're
Fuck yeah.
actually, I mean, we've chatted a lot over the years, but never got to talk in person.
Right.
And we should definitely do it again. I want to get
Yeah.
an update as far as everything's going. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that
Thank you.
if you're a low life and you're listening to my voice right now and you have an XS650, Dustin's the man. You go to beckbuiltfab.com to get all your parts. And if you want some custom parts, he'll do that too. You want a fence? He'll build you a fence, bro.
You want a cadaver rack? I'll build you a cadaver rack.
Have you done? You must have done that before.
Yeah, I did that for a morgue.
Oh, a whole rack? How many
Yeah,
cadavers they got on that shit?
I think it was for. I think it held like either 6 or 8.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
Dude, when I get to that age, I'm going up to fucking Alaska. I'm stepping on an iceberg and I'm fucking pushing myself
yeah.
off into the ocean.
Right. See you later. Bye.
Live with some penguins for a couple days before I starve to death.
Yeah. Right.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome talking to you. Stick
Yeah.
around. I'm going to see these low lives off into their weekend. Until next week, low lives, get in the garage, get in trouble, have fun, never stop chopping. Deadbeat Customs. Steve over at Deadbeat Customs is about grassroots motorcycle riders who take it upon themselves to build and customize their bike. They offer parts for all Harley-Davidson models and also custom parts for choppers, bobbers, trackers, and cafe racers. When it comes to building a custom motorcycle, they carry the best brands available. Go visit their brick and mortar store in Tewksbury, Mass, or at deadbeatcustoms.com. Remember, enter Lowlife at checkout and save some loot. Stay strong, Co. Sean Luke has been sent down from the heavens to bless us lowlifes with the greatest motherfucking hot sauce in the world. Sweet heat baby Jesus in the white pants heralds a message from God himself. This hot sauce is for your food. Keep it off your butthole. The shits, and the hotter than hellfire low-life chopper sauce. Go to staystrongco.org today and grab yourself the holy trinity of hot sauces. Oxford Code Choppers. Chris is the original bad boy from Oxford, Connecticut. From frame restoration and repair to handlebars and hardtails. Hard parts for hard men. His hardtails are expertly TIG welded and installed in-house. Made of USA-made steel, cast axle plates, he is your man for the hardest shit to hit the East Coast since Hurricane Bob. Find him on Instagram at oxfordco.choppers. Steel City Blacksmithing. Josh specializes in handcrafted steel work right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Anything from custom motorcycle parts to hammers and tomahawks. Don't get it twisted. If it can be twisted, he's twisting it. Check him out at steelcityblacksmithing.com today.